So today we are living in the Muscat, the capital city of Oman, and we're going towards Nizwa. Nizwa is the former capital of Sultanate of Oman. So let's talk about a little bit about Oman. Oman, or officially the Sultanate of Oman, is a country on the southeast coast of the Arabian Peninsula in West Asia. It shares land borders with Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Yemen. The capital and the largest city, which you're seeing right now, is Muscat. And population as of 2024 of Sultanate of Oman is about 5.28 million people. So Oman is an absolute monarchy led by a sultan. So previous sultan that very well known is Sultan Qaboos bin Said. He was a sultan from 1970 until his death on January 2020. So when he came to the power, he decided to modernize his country, Oman, because Oman right now, at that time, was a very undeveloped country. They didn't have a proper road, they didn't have an airport. It was like basically just empty desert. So Qaboos bin Said decided to develop country and to bring it up to the level of the civilized world, to modernize the country a bit. So what you're seeing right now, that's what thanks to the Qaboos bin Said and his vision, how he envisioned his city in the future. The country was completely had a big facelift, basically. So, but the thing about Qaboos bin Said, when he was married, what I was told, twice, but he died childless, so he didn't have any children who can succeed to the throne to become next sultan of the sultanate. So, and he named his cousin Hitham bin Tariq as his successor in a letter. So basically, when Sultan dies, he writes, before his death, he writes the letter. In the letter, he put the name of his successor, who's supposed to be next Sultan. So there is two letters, just in case if one gonna get missed, or gonna misplace somewhere. So Hitham bin Tariq was named his cousin as the next sultan, and in comparison to Qaboos, Hitham bin Tariq has 4 children. So before going to Nizwa, we're gonna stop on this place right now. It's called like Oasis of Oman, where you can see this beautiful view through the mountains. Gorgeous oasis full of palm tree that produce dates. And dates is very common and very popular treat in Oman. They eat dates, they make dates paste, and they make anything like a dessert type made of dates. So, and it's very tasteful and very delicious. So like you can see it from here, it's really beautiful, gorgeous. It's like a mirage. You're basically in the middle of the desert with those naked mountains, hills surrounded you, and right in the bottom you see this beautiful dates, palm trees, and it provide shades, and it's really gorgeous. It's kind of like a beautiful to look at it, and so I kind of like enjoyed it. So that's our kind of like a little stop before continuing to Nizwa. Well, let's mention. I want to mention here also about religion here in Oman. So today, 85% of Oman's population is Muslim, with slightly over 45% following Sunni Islam, and around 45% Ibadi Islam, with the other 5% as Shia Muslims. So what I was told here by a local person, that it's forbidden in Oman to ask someone what his religion and what type of religion he is affiliated with, because if that case will happen, so basically you're allowed to go to the police and file the report, and the person can be, if he found guilty, he will be sentenced to 6 months in jail. And comparing to other countries in the Middle East, or like the country like Saudi Arabia that they're bordering with, Oman is more tolerant towards others. So what I was told that women not they don't have to cover themselves when they go outside. It's up to them. It's their choice if they want to do it. So they can wear modern clothes or they can just cover. The women drive here cars. There is a lot of women in the government level of Oman and in the police force. So women serves everywhere, even if they want to be in the military. We are approaching Nizwa. This is the gate to Nizwa. So Nizwa was the capital city of Oman during a successive period. It's about 140 kilometers away from Muscat International Airport. And Nizwa is distinguished by its traditional markets that are run by Omani merchants. And when the tourists come there, they usually visit markets for livestock, vegetables, handicrafts, silverware, halwa, Omani dessert, and others. So right now we are approaching to Nizwa. So we stopped here in the little market where they're basically selling their dates, kind of like sweets. There is also a place to buy coffee and spices. And look at it, it's very clean and very well organized. And it's like kind of like a museum you walk into rather than kind of like a little small market. And so I was able to get some dates, because the interesting thing about the dates, there is different varieties of dates. There is some of them too sweet, semi-sweet, not really sweet. Some of them mixed with something, with maybe pistachios or some other spices, like with the one was there with cardamom. So I chose the one that not really sweet at all, or let's say not sweet at all. And so it was like kind of like interesting. That's a different type of sweets right now, and they also made of dates, and they're on sale. So about the Omani money, their Omani real is actually stronger than US dollars or euro. So one Omani real is about $3.50. And so basically, if you buy something, let's say from airport to the city center, it's 5 real. It's about, let's say, $13-14. And they don't have an Uber, they don't have Bolt, but they have their own app called O Taxi, which is cheaper. And if you choose, you can basically choose what kind of car you want to pick you up. There is economy, small car, luxury car. So if it's a regular taxi, it's going to be probably about 2 money real, let's say $6 to go somewhere. And if you want a luxury like BMW, that's going to be about 19 money real, which is equivalent to $50 US. So this is different ghee, saffron, sugar, and the ingredients they use for special paste that you're gonna see it later on. That paste, considered as a sweet, they served for people who drink tea or coffee. But I'm not sure if Oman is really tea drinking country, because I saw a lot of people actually drinking coffee. Here is the coffee stands where people selling different type of coffees. So and continue further, you will see the rest of the market and what they have on sale there. So basically, there is a souks everywhere. There is a Muscat souk, Nizwa souk. Souk is a kind of like traditional old market where you can buy anything you want from clothing and with the sweets, food and vegetables or whatever. So let's continue. All right, so we are at Nizwa Fort. Nizwa Fort is located in the heart of the Nizwa city. It is one of the most antique and famous forts in Oman. It is also known as Al-Shahba because of its height and fortified strength. It was built by Imam Sultan bin Saif bin Malik Al Yarubi during his reign between 1649 and 1679, and it took 12 years to complete. It has a height of about 24 meters and diameter of 40 meters. It is the largest circular tower in the Arabian Peninsula. The fort is surrounded by an old wall that is 1200 years old. It connects it to Al-Aker archaeological site. The fort is characterized by its defensive style, which contains several methods like hot date syrup sums that are equipped and prepared to deter enemies. So basically, anyone who tried to enter the fort, they were using hot dates, like in the form of the syrup. So what they're gonna do, they're basically gonna pour that syrup on your enemy so you can get basically burned, and that's how they were able to defend themselves, which kind of an interesting fact. And from there I'm gonna give you like chance to explore with me this Nizwa Fort, and then from there we're gonna continue kind of like to another castle. But in Nizwa Castle, so Imam Muhammad bin Abdullah Ali Ahmadi started building the castle in the late 8th century. Then it was expanded by Imam Asal bin Malik al-Harusi in the mid of 9th century, and renewed during the reign of Imam Nasser bin Murshid al Yarubi. It includes several rooms such as Al-Barza public room, the Imam's family residence, guest room, date store, and residence for students, which is you're gonna see all of them in this particular rooms that I'm gonna be going through and guiding you kind of around. And so inside you will see Al-Barza public meeting room, which is all of them have different rooms. So Imam had not separated himself from people. He conducted meetings alongside sheikhs, judges, scholars, and notables of the state and common people in a special room known as Al-Barza. In the presence of people of opinion and wisdom, people raised their ideas, needs, and issues. And near to Al-Barza, the Imam allocated a special room called Al-Munagah for guests who wanted privacy when meeting the Imam. So it's kind of like interesting to see that there is like this is coffee making room. Apparently that's where people were supposed to make a coffee, and we know that coffee was drink preparation originated from Arabia. So continue exploring this with me, and then we're gonna continue for the different castle. And there's something about you I didn't filmed it here, it's not shown here, but there is a wells, because wells are the main source of water in the fort. There are 17 wells, 4 of them are on the roof of the fort, and the rest are distributed inside and outside the castle. All of them still have water until this day, but I didn't show this on this particular video. And so even the doors of the fort, the castle includes crossing and defensive doors made by Omanis from the finest types of wood, which contains many beautiful decoration and inscriptions. And there's different like exhibition room where you can see the jewelry worn by women those times. And there is a historical hallway shows comparison of Oman's history to other nations and civilization over the world in the BC period, and something you don't see here. And when as far as the garden, in the expanded area of the castle, there's some like animal barns, and you can learn about their methods of agriculture, palm tree types, fallage system, and extraction of water from the wells. So this is the coffee shop, which is located just adjoined to the fort. And So we're gonna finish this right now with the fort in Nizwa, and we're gonna continue to the next our stop for another castle, which we're gonna talk about later on. But this is the entrance to the Nizwa Souk, basically as a market, where you can buy potteries and anything that they produce, a local artifact and clothing for men and women, and so it's in abundance. So we stopped in one of the restaurant for lunch, and before you're gonna sit down, they basically, as a buffet, they're telling you asking you what would you like to eat. You can choose local Omani rice, fish, chicken, and they prepare it for you and bring it to you. So and all over the place, it's kind of like an exhibition in the support of the Palestine, and food was not really yummy, I would say, comparing to the dinner I had in Beit Al Laboon restaurant in Mutra area, which was way more delicious. This one was kind of like mediocre. So we continue right now and towards the castle that we're going to show you around. But the roads in Oman are very well modernized, very well built, and it's very smooth to drive there. And there is no big traffic, there is no big jam. So it's a lovely ride. And the temperature is about in the 70s. It's hot, but not like really, really hot, like you're sweating, but you do feel a little bit like exhausting after being in the sun for so long. So we just passed this. This is Nizwa Police Academy, the longest one where they train men and women to be police officers. And if you're going to see the fence was like stretching all the way around. It was like the longest one I ever seen. So now we are at Jabrin Castle. It's one of the greatest castles in the Sultanate of Oman due to its spectacular and impressive design. Castle was built by Imam Bil Arab Bil Sultan Ali Arubi during the period characterized by political stability. The castle was used as a palatial residence for the Imam in times of peace and fortification in times of war. The thing is about this castle, it's like I was almost got lost there. Trying to get out of all those rooms, because the way it was designed, so kind of to make visitors get lost if they're not gonna have a particular guide with them to show them around or how to get out of this castle, because the castle is actually like a labyrinth. So they have stairs everywhere, and when you climb those stairs, you basically end up nowhere. And then there is a stairs that leads you downstairs. When you go downstairs, you basically end up also nowhere. So there is no exit from there. And when you move from one room to another, you basically end up back to the same room. So this whole labyrinth positioning of these castle rooms got me really frustrating, because I was trying to find a way how to get out of this castle and to get downstairs. So finally I was managed to find a way. It took probably maybe 15-20 minutes for me to find a way how to get out of this castle. But it's a beautiful, impressive castle and beautifully designed, and I had a really great time to be able to see that personally. This is the view outside of the castle, and so that's one of the steps on our way from Muscat to Nizwa. So when first we stopped in Nizwa Fort, and then we continued from Nizwa Fort to Jabrin Castle. After Jabrin Castle, we're gonna stop at another fort that was considered another of the oldest fort built in the Sultanate of Oman, but We didn't have much time to get inside of that fort, so we were able only to admire that beautiful design and the structure from the outside. So continue and exploring with me city of Nizwa, fort and castles of Sultanate of Oman. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. This is my second day in the Sultanate of Oman. Thank you so much. Have a great one.